Tuesday night, and of course with the Europa League coming up, I guess you have to be thinking about how you're going to manage your resources even more carefully.
Yeah, well, we've had a rare opportunity to do a little bit of training and actually some recovery, because you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then not a game until Sunday. So that's been a rarity for us, really. Of course, Paul is still out. Eric's been training, so that's a boost for us.
Simon Beach.
Ollie, just following up on that, in terms of training, it looks like you've got some of the young lads with you now. Are they going to be with you for the rest of the season, or is that short term? And in terms of the Europa League, we've seen both of Arsenal's fixtures moved to neutral territory. Yours first leg's been moved to neutral territory. Do you think this is sustainable?
First of all, with the first question, the young kids, yeah, we've moved Shola up with us. Hannibal will probably he'll join us, and we'll keep them with us for a while. I think it's the next step in their development, and we've just got to take the hit on them when they play in the reserves, that they have to travel by themselves, so they move into our bubble. And that's, I think that's a nice step for them, well deserved, because they've done really well. And with Europe, of course, it's that's what we hope, that it's going to be sustainable. The different governments, the travel in Europe at the moment is difficult, as we all know, and it's not a decision that we made. But when one game's on a neutral venue, it's a disadvantage, of course, for the team that doesn't have the home game. So. But that's out of our hands. It's nothing that we can say, okay, we'll just meet in Turin and play one game. I wouldn't mind that at all, one game less.
Samson?
Hi, Ollie. I know you've had some good results against Liverpool in the Cup and West Ham in the Southampton game, but it's 1 win in 4 in the league. How important is it to get that momentum again, because the gap to Man City is getting bigger and the other teams are getting closer?
Of course, it's an important game for us this weekend. It's an important spell. It's time now that we every game you tick one off, and it's less and less possibility to catch up points on the teams in front of you, and that's what we want to do. That's what we're here to do. And Sunday's a big one for us in that respect, to get back on winning ways. The 2 points dropped against Everton was disappointing when it's the last kick of the ball. But we bounced back really well in the Cup, West Ham. We're through, we're in the quarters, and that was a good step in the right direction again, another clean sheet.
James Cooper?
Ollie, hiya. I know every press conference recently we've asked you about social media and racism, but every time we've seen you, it seems to have escalated. You know, whether it's male, female players at Manchester United, whether it's now managers, whether it's referees. Is this a movement where things are going to change, and are we getting some sort of traction here that you know, it's going to be something constructive at the end of this process?
Let's hope we can at least, you know, today with all the abuse and discrimination on social media, for me it's simple. If you don't have proof of your identity, you cannot open an account. That's just as simple as. And it would be so much easier to punish the numpties that have nothing better to do.
Neil Curtis? Hi, Neil.
Yeah, I've just unmuted myself. Ollie, you made a really good point there about the 2 legs. Because there's not fans and because of this fixture congestion, would it not make sense just to have a one-off knockout game rather than sticking to the 2 legs?
Well, that's what we did last season. We met somewhere neutral, and we made it a tournament. So of course, home and away, if we're going to keep that going, it's, as I said, it's not. We do have a little advantage. It's a disadvantage for Sociedad, of course, to have their home game in Turin. So for me, I wouldn't stand in the way of that. There's probably other reasons why we don't.
Laurie Weaver.
Hello. 7 goals for Scott McTominay this season. Was that something that you thought coming into the season you wanted to add to his game? And if he gets double figures, do you think that could play a significant part in how the team does as a whole?
Of course, to add goals from midfield is vital. We've had last season our three forwards were brilliant and they were really efficient and scored goals, 60 odd. And Bruno came in, scored goals. We needed more goals from midfield, and Scott has got that ability to go box to box. He's a threat inside the box, and he used to be a striker before. So I think, for us to move up the league and to be successful in the cups, we need our forwards to keep on firing, getting more goals, and then I wouldn't mind some midfielders adding a few, and if Scott can get it to double figures, that would be a very good season for a so-called defensive midfielder.
Carlson.
Yes, hello Ola.
Hi.
You always said that you're following a plan and that you're taking the right steps and that you always want to fight for glory, of course, but what do you see as a successful season for Man United, and also on your path of development, in your opinion, at which point do your success have to be measured in trophies? You go into every season trying to improve, and if you improve, that's a step forward. Is it a big enough step forward? We'll have to see at the end. If we end up with trophies, we're still in competitions. We lost in the semi in the Carabao Cup. We're in the quarters FA Cup. We're still in Europe, and we're second in the league. So at the moment, it looks like we've improved, but we're going into the deciding period of the season. So it's now that we have to kick on. It's now that we have to keep our consistency, get the quality higher, eradicate some of the mistakes that we're making, and be more clinical in front of goal. And so I don't want to say what is a successful season at the moment, but we have the chance to end this season with the feeling of this season being successful if we improve, because I think we've shown qualities that can win us trophies.
Andy Mixon.
Hi Ollie.
In your car today?
Yeah, I'm in Kristiansund in Norway.
I wish. You wish.
If Freddy plays on the weekend, it will be his 100th appearance for Manchester United. He had a very difficult first season. What have you done to help him improve, and what does he bring to your team now that he seems to have become an important player? And how do you personally pronounce his name?
Fred. Sorry?
That's incorrect.
It might be, but I'm Norwegian, so he's really done well. I have to say, I've enjoyed working with him for the couple of seasons. When I came, he was a boy that was struggling a little bit, and the question, I don't know the numerous questions I got in a press conference about Fred early on, and as I said then, is what we're talking about, players coming into a new country. It takes time to settle, and it took some time for Fred to settle, and when he has now, he's grown in confidence, he's grown in there's less time in the Premier League than what he was used to. He's quickened up his game, he's not getting caught on the ball, and I think I'm not going to take any credit for that, of course. It's the coaches. I think Michael Carrick, Kieran, they've been brilliant with him. But it's Fred himself that's had the hunger and the humility and to learn and want to improve and stick at it and keep working. And as you said, 100 games, that's not many people that can say they've played 100 games for Man United, and I'm sure there'll be many, many more to come, and hopefully he will score from outside the box soon, but I'm not sure if it's going to be with his right. I've tried to tell him.
Last two questions. First one for Paul Hurst, and we'll finish with Rob Dawson.
Hi Ollie, just going back to the social media aspects of the game. Do you think the abuse that are getting now is kind of bearing on their mind when they go onto the field? Because they might think, oh, you know, if I make another mistake, I'm going to get hammered. I'm going to get, you know, racially, potentially abused when I come off the pitch. Is that kind of making them a bit more scared when they are playing?
Well, if it does, then we've come too far, or we've already come too far anyway in this this concept, and the abuse has gone overboard and it's unacceptable. So I would hope that we have educated our players enough to stay away from much of the criticism. As I said, to stop this, it would be for me it should be so easy that people just have to verify who they are to open an account, and not all these bogey with all the fake names and stuff. So that's my wish, that we can go, okay, if you want to have an account, it has to be verified. So.
Question for Rob Dawson.
Hi Ollie, and just following on from that, is that something that the abuse of people on social media, is that something that you've experienced personally, and is it possible for the manager of Man United to have social media accounts these days?
I've probably been abused right, left and centre. That's just the way it is, but I don't know about that at all. And of course it is possible, but it would be it might not have to be in my name, as long as it's verified the account that it is me who opened it. Probably I'm happy enough without it at the moment. I live in 2021, but I'm still old school. I've got kids that are on social media, so that should be enough. If there's anything, they ask me.
Thank you very much.